Now, a lot of people are also claiming that these figures may be actually quite exaggerated. Welcome to episode 14 of the Brownboy podcast. We are here today, the date being 29th of March, 9 o'clock, and we have a guest here today, Eddy, from the university, a good friend of mine. How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Doing good. What about you?
Yeah, good. Let's just get right into it, to be honest. What do you think of this current situation that's going on at the moment, man? I've been seeing you on Instagram. You've been posting a lot of positive vibes about this whole lockdown. But yeah, so give us your thoughts.
I just think it's a very serious situation, and everyone needs to do their part, like taking it seriously. Just stay at home and wait till the waters comes, because um, like the situation, especially in Italy right now, it's really bad. They counting down 600, 700 deaths each day, so it's getting pretty bad now.
Hmm.
And but at the same time, I feel like the media it's exaggerating it, is making it more scarier than what it actually is, because that's
Hmm.
what the media like pretty much the news always do, try to scare people, make them feel
Hmm.
afraid to you know, control what people are doing in a way.
It's almost like with the media, they like to make it into such a thing where everyone's scared of it. Do you kind
Yeah,
of think that's the case?
yeah.
So and then going back to Italy, obviously we know Italy's in quite a rough situation.
Yeah,
There are certain people that are also saying out there as well that a lot of the they give us these figures, yeah, they give us these amount of people that
yeah,
die in a
yeah,
day. Now a lot of people are also claiming that these figures may be actually quite exaggerated.
yeah. You see about the figures, they're actually counting down not just the death from coronavirus, they're counting all the deaths that are happening in the hospital each day. But because there are like patients that has coronavirus, you know, the virus fluctuate in the hospital, and it goes to those people that are dying for other disease or whatever. Like it could be like they could be dying of heart stroke and other symptoms, and like other different type of health issues.
Hmm.
But because there are patients with coronavirus, they also get the corona. Uh, they get infected, and they die out because of the virus as well.
Yeah, it's almost like
So
a case
yeah,
of yeah. Go on. What were you going to say?
like they're just doing a total of the. It's not just people that die from coronavirus. It's a total of people that are dying on a daily in the
A
hospital.
daily basis. And it also
Yeah,
seems like a lot of the figures, when you look into a bit deeper, it appears that those who have claimed to have died from coronavirus, 99%, or at least, let's say 90 to 99%, 99% of them have had underlying health conditions. Now, what that means is that did they actually die from coronavirus or did they die from something else? And
yeah,
ultimately,
exactly.
how bad is this coronavirus? Is it really that bad that they're saying, or is there a lot of misinformation out there?
Mm. There's a lot of there's a lot of theories behind it. Some people say it won't affect them. Like I was thinking a couple of days ago that, oh, it won't affect me, I'm immune. But then you got to think about, like, okay, let's see if you have it
Hmm.
and you're gonna infect someone, like someone else on from your family that is older.
Hmm.
Like you can easily get the virus and pass it to someone else that is older and is more vulnerable, and their immune system is not as strong as yours. So, but there's been cases now of younger people dying. There's this girl, she died. She's 21 years old. She had no health condition, no health
That.
problems, and she died. So
Mhm.
there's that as well.
Yeah, and that case was in England, but I also do kind of feel that a lot of the time they're telling us about all these deaths, and obviously now they're starting. Well, they were saying that young people are getting more affected by it, but they seem to be trying to overall get us into like a state of fear.
Yeah,
And that's what always makes me question it, because you see the same thing with the media and the news. They are so insistent on getting the figures so specific. They will give you a
Mm.
delivery of those figures every day. But let's take off that point for a bit and let's go directly to Italy. I know were you born in Italy, is that correct?
Yeah, I'm part Italian. Like,
So
I lived in Italy for most of my life as well.
the situation there now, give us a insight into what it's really like, if you know, based on if you've got any family there, like, because I have heard it is pretty bad,
Yeah,
worse than we know. Is that
they've
right?
been in quarantine for like 3 weeks back
Mm,
before us, and like they have several cases, like especially now the cases where like are getting up.
mm,
But the fact is, now the people are staying inside. They're not, and before they were not listening, and they were going out. They were doing whatever. They didn't care about. They interviewed people on the streets, and they were saying, "Oh well, just because of this virus, I'm not gonna stop living it. I'm not gonna stop living my life because of a virus. It won't affect me. I'm young." They thought that they had no impact on them, so they just decided not to listen to the government. But then, once the deaths started dropping, old people dying, the hospital now they're fully packed. They can't get any more people in. Even people that are not anymore working, they're going back to the hospitals and help. Like people on pensions, nurses that don't work anymore, like things like
hmm.
that. They need extra staff, extra support, and they need extra equipment because they don't have any more what do you call them, respiratory.
Yeah, the
Um,
ventilators.
yes, they need more of those because and Italy. Bear in mind, Italy is the second best healthcare system in the world. I mean,
Wow.
I'm pretty sure it's the second best. Yeah, the first one is France, then there's Italy, and then there's Germany or something like that. But if they're struggling like that now in here, considering the NHS is out of staff because after Brexit, many people decided, to leave, and like after that, political problems like Boris Johnson. I mean, can we go political on here or not?
Of course, we can talk about everything.
Right.
Go on.
So yeah, because of Boris Johnson, which he happened to be also tested positive. Yeah, hands down to him. He was trying to do a good thing. It's just like because of, let's say, the Tories, they cut down a lot on NHS and other like benefits for the community and everyone else really.
Don't you think as well with the political landscape that we have these politicians, they've enacted a lot of these laws. For
Yeah.
example, they brought in the coronavirus law recently, which gives them the right to detain anyone who they suspect of coronavirus. I don't know about you, but it seems to me like they are slowly, the powers that be the government or whoever, the politicians, are taking away our power, so we don't actually have any freedom left. Things like
Yeah.
surveillancing our phones, detaining us. I mean, I always like to say this: if somebody's got symptoms of the flu now, and they're
Yeah.
caught by a police officer or a medical officer, that police or medical officer can actually detain them for having coronavirus, and they may not even have coronavirus.
Mm.
You see how dangerous this law can become, because they
Yeah.
can, if they want to arrest anybody or get rid of anybody, all they have to do is assess them with their medical officer, and they can claim they had coronavirus,
Hmm.
and we wouldn't even know. They'd be
Yeah.
shipped off. They'd be shipped off to some next quarantine facility, and then what would they do there? They'd probably end up putting 5G or some system on them there that will actually make them have coronavirus.
Yeah. It's very right now. The situation is very uncertain. Like no one really knows what's going on, but the things that we know is displayed by the media. It's mostly displayed by the media,
Mhm.
and it just shows like tragedies after tragedies
Yeah.
everywhere in the world. And I just feel like we don't really have much of a choice but to listen to the government. I mean, we can we can rebel and do what we want, get out. But then again, now they're fining people if they see you outside that you're not doing like the the three things that they listed that you can do. You can go for you can go shopping. You like for essential things and medicines. You can go for an exercise activity once a day, and then I think there's another reason which I can't remember now.
Yeah, I think it's you can pick someone up from work, or you can visit someone if they're really ill. I think that's the last.
Yeah,
I think it's just those ones really.
yeah. So there's if you if you don't follow those like these rules and you break them, you will get fined. And they
Mm.
also like they have drones in the air. So I was just looking at the news yesterday. They set up drones to check around the perimeter of the areas, like if there's anyone that's breaking the rules or
Have they
anything
done
like
that
that.
in your? Have they done that in your area?
I saw it on the news. Like they were
Really?
like there was this family. They went to the Peak District
Ah,
with the
yeah, I've
car,
seen that.
and they got like the drones picked them up straight. They picked them up, and then they were saying like if people are being fined found doing what they want, they will get fined.
They'll get
So
fined. Yeah. It's very interesting the surveillance they've got in now. Like, how have
yeah,
you been living? How have you been living your life then during this lockdown? I can see you've got a mask on now.
yeah.
Uh, you've got a mask on now. So are you wearing that all the way around the house, or is it just a prop for the video? Because it does fit. It fits in with the video, bro. I tell you.
I'm just I'm wearing it sometime when I go out, especially when I go like I went a couple of times shopping. I went for a jog 2 days ago.
Mhm.
But really, for me, because I like to go out, I really most of the things that I do is outside. So it's very difficult, I would say. But if I looking at in the bigger picture, I'm I kind of think I'm doing the right thing
Mhm.
because that's what pretty much everyone's telling us to do. But at the same time, it's not always the case. People
Yeah,
telling you to
because
do something, it's
exactly,
not
and
always.
that's the thing I've been thinking about a lot lately. The
Mm.
mainstream and a lot of the people behind the mainstream are saying we should stay inside and protect everybody else, and they've created a kind of movement whereby people who don't do that are looked upon as selfish. So people who
Yeah,
stay outside and people who go outside are looked upon as selfish. But they've set up an interesting dynamic that the people are willfully asking for their own slavery. Because before even the lockdown came last week, people were saying, "Get us in lockdown, get us in lockdown, get us in lockdown," because of the way things were going. And now we're in lockdown.
yeah,
It's like it can either get worse or it can get better. But I think it will get worse before it gets better. In all
yeah.
honesty, and, because this is how the situation is arising. And just looking back at, let's say this is coronavirus now. I made some notes earlier. I was researching a little bit about it. And I don't know if you know, but for those of you watching at home as well, in the 1920s or 1919, there's also the Spanish flu. This is another big flu, killed a lot of people. I think it was around 10 million people died from it. Big
Mm,
epidemic. Now, there was something that was introduced during this time which caused this flu to go so rampant. And that was the radio signal, the antenna of the modern day radio. That caused a lot of problems for a lot of people, and it led to them developing diseases like the Spanish flu because their body was not in tune with this new frequency, which was the radio. And then we look today at the coronavirus and what is it that they've been trying to bring out, or what is it that they have been installing lately? And that is 5G.
5G.
What do you what? Give me your thoughts on 5G, whatever you know about it.
I mean, I don't know too much about it because I don't really have it. So,
Mm,
um, but it's being introduced by the Chinese, right?
yeah.
And it's like the fastest way of what do you call them? Like
The
5G.
yeah, the signals, yeah, the signals. Let's
Yeah,
say.
it's the fastest signals that there is right now.
I think the thing is with 5G is yeah, okay, there are technological benefits like fast internet, for example, fast whatever. I haven't really looked into them, but the thing is the signal that the 5G is creating is causing a lot of problems in the medical world as well, because it interferes with our natural body's frequencies. That we are
Mm,
electrical beings, and 5G does not resonate with our frequency. Since 5G's been introduced, there's been a lot of backlash about it. A lot of people have protested. I mean, if you want to look, I'll put a link below to the Hong Kong protesters tearing down 5G towers back in August because they knew of the harm that this caused. Many people knew
mm,
of the harm that this caused. Now, my worry is this. the lockdown is going on, meaning we are all inside our homes, correct?
Yes.
A lot of us are not outside. What if they are secretly installing some more 5G towers so that if you haven't got coronavirus yet, when you go outside eventually, you will get coronavirus. It's a matter of time.
I'm not sure about it. Yeah. If they do that, I mean, at the same time, like the way to describe coronavirus is like something that it can be transmitted like as a flu
Yes.
and by contact. So if I touch an object and then I give it to you, you can get coronavirus through that object because I touched it and I had the virus. Let's say if I had coronavirus, yeah. But this for the 5G, if the 5G was the case, then that means these are all propaganda, like about how the virus is spread and where the virus is coming from, because there apparently is scientific research behind the data of the molecule of the virus that is not natural virus, you know. So there's that part that people are like trying to promote, and then there's also the part that's saying that this is an ultimate weapon of the Chinese, and it's kind of like to control the world, because, you know, to get China right now, China is also going down economically, like their economic is going down everywhere, but they are getting, they are the first one they're gonna come out very shortly out of this whole pandemic situation. They are doing everything right, so they are controlling it. Everyone is like they're taking steps, like they're shutting it down. Now the only way China can get coronavirus back is by someone that is infected going to China, but they have the borders are closed, so that's not gonna happen. So now China can pretty much manipulate his way, like every other countries, because right now everyone is in crisis. Everyone is like, they don't know what's gonna happen. Well, there's a lot of uncertainty in the air. So China can manipulate things, like it can even find the cure and set it out, like make it out this cure and set it out to every other countries in exchange of currency. So
Yeah.
we don't know yet, like what exactly. Like I believe it could be you know, a weapon, a war weapon that has
A
just been,
bioweapon.
yeah. Even though the science behind it, like at the same time, as you said, there's a lot of evidence of things that doesn't connect. Why would the Chinese introduce the new 5G just before the pandemic? Like, so there's
Exactly.
that, and plus they killed the doctor that the hospital that the first cases of coronavirus happened. The doctor got apparently died out really quickly
Yes, I heard.
from the coronavirus, and it was only 47. And this is very, you know, it's very strange. Like people don't really think that was the case. They are like, a lot of people believe that it's being killed by the government because it's being killed to not let everyone know what is actually going on, because it's kind of like something that they wanted to keep secret.
I think there's a lot of secrets that are going to come out of this coronavirus situation, but it
Yeah.
depends how many people actually wake up to it. And look, I could be wrong. I'm not saying I'm right. I could be potentially wrong about this whole thing. But the thing is, we must ask the question, because the mainstream is going to provide us one route. Okay.
Yeah.
We must look at the bigger picture, and I don't know. We must trust our intuition as well. And for me, it just says that something isn't right about this virus. Something seems a bit fishy, and the rabbit hole just seems to get deeper and deeper. I mean, we're talking about 5G and stuff earlier regarding the systems and what they brought in. So I was saying how 5G has been introduced, however it's been introduced, China, the elite, whatever, and now coronavirus has come. And it feels like, as humans, we don't seem to learn the lesson that when we introduce new technology, with certain electromagnetic frequencies, they don't resonate with our body. And this is what causes these diseases. And this is what is causing the pandemic that is going on right now. And then if they're trying to install more 5G, and it's causing coronavirus, we must question why. Why are they doing this to us, and who are they? Because the thing is, like I said earlier, we seem to be sleepwalking off the edge of a cliff almost as humanity.
Hmm.
Everything stopped. Look, everything has stopped. Everything has stopped, and there's more stricter measures coming in. This might just be a test run.
Yeah.
Who knows? It might be
I
a test
mean,
run for something bigger.
what stopped is really the monotonous life of everyday life of, the economy everywhere in the world. Like, the going in and back from work, that lifestyle, you know. I I feel like this can be beneficial for the part of like a lot of people realizing now most of the jobs that they do is doable at home. They don't need to go to work. Like a lot of these call center and places where you dealing with customer on the phone, or like you don't need to go to an office to do that. You can
Yeah.
just do it on your comfort of your home. So a lot of people realizing that now, and like even my mom, she's working in a call center, and she can now like she's doing everything at home, right?
Is you getting the
So
calls at home as well?
exactly, yeah. But
Really,
right
that's
now,
it.
obviously, the business is shut down, so there's nobody like they're just complaining about the fact that they want their money back because they're not selling anymore, so they need to basically compensate all the customers and complaints and whatnot. But
Yeah.
it's a lot of people realizing this now, and it's gonna be a change in the it's gonna be a change in the how they're gonna like perceive the work field, and it's gonna be a mess. When everything comes back, I'm pretty sure there's gonna be like the pandemic is not gonna be the problem anymore. The problem is gonna be the revolution of people, like people trying to they will manifest how they feel about this, and they
You
will,
can
I don't
eat. You
know,
can. You can eat. To be honest, you
something
can
will
eat.
happen.
I definitely think that, and I think there's something already happening because in Italy now they're talking about people potentially starting a revolution because they're sick of what the government's doing. That we've been locked inside our homes. We have no money now to buy food. We're being turned away. We can't do things, and this is a society that is about to collapse. But the thing is, it could be for a good reason. Because a lot of times I've sat on here with yourself and I've spoken about the negative aspects of this thing. But the thing is, it could all be a case where this is coming to shut everything down, to change it all forever, and bring it into a new world, a positive world, a world for all, not just for some.
Mm,
And if it is that, then this is a great opportunity for us to,
yeah.
like you said, like I was watching the Instagram stories earlier. It's a great opportunity for us to grow and learn and heal. That's the key word, heal.
Mm. Definitely. Like, if I feel like because we are so like overwhelmed by, especially if we live like me and you, we're living in this city, like it's overwhelming. The city is overwhelming for anyone. So no matter what you do, it's like we are so overwhelmed with the everyday to day life that we kind of needed this step back. This
Hmm.
this time alone, whether you use it um positively or not, it will make you think more than before. Like you will have more time to think. It's just like
Definitely, you'll have more time to think. But the
yeah,
thing is, I think a lot of people are struggling as well during these times because there's not like every day is the same now, isn't it? Like today's Sunday, doesn't feel no
yeah.
different to Tuesday or Wednesday. For
I'm
me,
not
it's
gonna
still.
lie. Yeah,
Go on, go on.
yeah. I'm not gonna lie. This really is for the time being. It's not really been like the experience that I'm having with it. It's not really being that good.
Really,
Like,
go on, go
cause
into
I'm
it.
I'm missing going out, and I'm thinking about the future, like more what's gonna happen next, what I'm gonna do. I was meant to like going for a placement. I don't know if that's gonna happen. Probably not. Everything is stopped in my head, but like at the same time, it's not because life goes on. I'm still alive, clearly. So I gotta carry on doing something. Can't just
Hmm.
thinking about what next was next. And the more I look at the news, the more it just set me on negative thoughts.
Yes, same as me. Same
So
as me.
I stopped doing that.
So have you stopped watching
Like
the news then?
yeah, I'm trying not to, because it really just irritates me.
Yeah. Do you know what? I always reminded myself when I was waking up when I was 17 back in the day that I always stopped watching the news because I knew the news, it makes you scared. It's a fear-based tactic. And
Yeah.
I don't think it actually keeps you informed about the world. It actually just sells a lie. Then when I stopped watching the news, I was living a much better life. Lately, I've started watching the news due to this coronavirus hoax, may I say,
Hmm.
pandemic. And yeah, like you're right, it gets you down, it gets you negatively, it gets you into
Yeah.
negativity, it gets you
Even
into
social media, though, even though social media sometimes especially Instagram, like they showing a lot of comedy towards it.
yes,
So
yes, yes.
it kind of like changing your mindset to thinking, oh, this is all a joke, you know.
Mm,
But in reality, then once you start facing it, well, actually, this is not a joke, and then you're looking at the reality, and from the media side of it, the mainstream news side of a reality, it makes you feel bad because it makes you feel like, oh, you're living in, fantasy, or
mm,
like both. I would say both extremes, social medias and news right now, they are not beneficial
yeah, yeah,
at
both of
this
them.
at
You're
this
right.
moment. Like I am guilty of it because I'm on it like for the most of part of the day. These couple of weeks I've been on it. Like I was
Yeah,
on it
same.
like earlier, and it's just like,
I seen the stories. I seen the stories, bro.
yeah, man. Like I'm been on it for a long time now. So like I really need to get something else going. That's the
Mm,
thing. But
yeah,
it's
no, I
just
get it.
I think like eventually once you start developing these like new habits that you want to do, because we're gonna stay here at least for another month and a half. Like
Hmm.
they said that
Even longer, even longer.
Italy will come down from the lockdown if everything goes as planned in June, by the end of June. So that's mean that we are gonna even stay in for longer because they started 3 weeks ago and we only started it like last week on
Hmm.
this lockdown. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a sad, when I think of it like that, it does get me quite down because a long time that a lot of things have stopped. But then it's like you can't
yeah,
just stop. You can't just stop your life either because I'm still alive. Like you said, I'm still alive. I've still got to do something. Like I've got to do something with my
yeah,
time. And if I don't, then I'm going to regret it, and I'm just going to go backwards because
yeah.
it's a weird time for everyone.
That's how I'm feeling. I'm feeling like I'm going backward, like when I was a teenager,
Mhm.
like like yeah. I know what you mean.
But the thing is, then, like you said, after that, coming round to all of that, we have to do something. And how I've seen it is, I've got to do the best that I can during these times because, like, otherwise, my life is on hold. And like you said, it's going to be going backwards. So we've got to find some way with the circumstances we've got. So let's say we can go out to exercise once a day. Okay, well, let's make it a long exercise then. We can eat. Let's try eat healthy. We're at home. Let's try do things like this. Talk to each other. Let's try. I don't know. Like, I do feel one thing though. I think we need to start a revolution as people. We need to start a revolution because the way this is going, this is not looking good. And no matter how much they can tell you, you're covering up the virus, you're doing your bit for humanity. This has been planned. This has been planned for a long time. We can't even look back into the
Mm.
archives of disaster
The way
control.
the way the Chinese dealt with it makes you think that this was way before that this was all planned way before like the first cases started happening. Because the
Yes.
Chinese, like, I remember even in uni, like two 2 months ago or 1 month, like around January and February, I always see like international students with mask on. So I'm wondering, okay, it might be just for the pollution, but then again, when the first cases of pandemic started happening, everyone had their mask on. Every international students, mostly from I would say Asia or
Hmm.
like I mean I can't just say Asia. Like I'm assuming they're from China or
Yeah,
other
China,
places like
Japan,
that.
Thailand,
Yeah,
etc.
they were all wearing the mask, so they being ready for it. Like they know what. the virus is, and they know how it spreads. And I don't just think it's, it's spread by contact. I think it's in the atmosphere. That's
Ah,
how it is.
what do you think they're spraying it in the atmosphere, or it's in the atmosphere because we've coughed it into it or something?
I don't know. Like, I feel like it's something. It could be sprayed on because they do, like, there are planes that with flies and spray some chemical in the atmosphere all the time, and we don't know what they're spraying and what does it do to the actual
Yeah.
air and stuff like that. So it's there's who knows, really. I don't really know.
It's also interesting to consider the fact that this coronavirus, they have a lot of symptoms which are flu-like. Yeah? As I look on my phone, like the virus symptoms for coronavirus are very similar to being flu-like. So
Yeah.
it does make you question. I do question a lot whether this actually exists. Do you know? Do you ever think that? Does it actually exist? Because we see so many people dying from other diseases. Is it actually coronavirus, or is coronavirus just another common man's flu?
People die from flu, um, but this one seems to be like a different type of flu. Like
Maybe
it's
it's a
it's
different strain of flu. Like another theory is that they're trying to kill off all the old people as well, because a lot of the
yeah,
old people have the knowledge, they're aware of certain things, and we millennials or we new generation people are just more so interested in
yeah,
what we're doing on the weekend or etc. etc. So if they're able to kill off a lot of the old people, they can start a new reality. You know, we as young ones, they say we're the saviors of this world,
mm,
but maybe we're not. Maybe we're the perfect prototype for the new world that they want, the new world order.
yeah,
Let's get it straight. I mean, even the cashless system, they've wanted to do that for a while. No cash, everything on your phone or on your card.
mm,
Well, they already almost have that now. You know,
yeah,
microchips. They don't need to microchip us in the head. They have it in our cards, in the bank cards. We carry them wherever we go.
hmm,
And
yeah,
yeah, it's a lot of things are starting to make sense during this. A lot of theories that sounded so stupid, they're actually putting them into place, or dare I say,
mm,
they've already put them into place.
yeah, yeah. I really think like whatever's gonna happen in the next couple of months, it will shock us all. So we are really gonna be for a rough ride. I'm
Mm,
telling you, because right now the way I'm going is just like it's there's no way for me personally, first of all, to stay in the house for a long period of time, not going out. Like obviously, okay, we're allowed to do this one exercise a day. We can go out for one exercise a day. Okay, fine, but this what about the connection with other people? Like
yes.
FaceTiming you or like FaceTiming alone. Okay, it's comforting. Like you can talk to people, but like, it's not the same as the face to face. It's not the same as going out for a drink, for going out for like a meal or something.
Mm,
It's never gonna be the same. Like people now using a lot of this new app. It's called House Party, and it's like
yes.
basically what you do. It's you join group chats of people, video chats, and you're just drinking in your own room. Like what is that about? Like I don't really understand this
Yeah,
type of
they're
things.
trying to get everything virtual now. Like you said, that's what's the most upsetting thing of all. Like they're trying to really cut us off from each other,
Yeah.
and like the connection. And how long is this going to last? We as people surely cannot keep taking this, because if we do, then we're just like robots. We don't really have emotions, do we?
This pandemic gonna play more a lot of people. They're not gonna die because of the pandemic, because of the virus. They're gonna die because of like underlying issues, mental health, physical issues, because we cannot stay indoor for an extended period of time every day for who knows how many days, like we can't.
We
We
can't do it
just
now.
it's not natural for us. Like it's like we are in a cage, like we have an animal side and we need to get out there and do things. We can't just stay indoor like a I don't know, like a
Hmm.
caged animal.
I know. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. You know what? We're gonna get you on for part two, yeah. Again, in a couple of weeks, and hopefully in that 2 weeks, yeah, it's going to be a real positive message that we're going to be giving, because let's hope this gets better. And I want to
Yeah.
flip the script a little bit. Give us something positive that we, as all people, what do you think we can do at home? What do you think the world needs if it's going this way? What do we need to do as people in order to beat this or to fight this? And I'm not just talking coronavirus. I'm talking
Yeah.
about the people. I'm talking about the conspiracy. I'm talking about everything.
I mean, for a start, talking about it is very important. Communication is number one key. Like, I'll say, uh, talk to your family, talk to your friends, make sure that you are keeping update with one another. It's important. Stay connected, even though it's not face to face. You still, are engaging. You're not like. I mean, depends also on the person. Like some people, they like this. They're really enjoying their own time. They don't
Hmm.
want to talk to anybody. They're living their life right now. But like for some people, I believe that the more extroverted people, the lesser they are likely to, you know, be happy about this
Yeah.
because they like to. I'm not saying that I'm extroverted, but I'm just thinking like as an extroverted person, they would rather, you know, be social and things like that in real
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
in real
It's
life.
like the introverts. They a lot of the introverted people can get away with this, but even after a while, then they won't be able to hack it. And
Yeah.
I feel like for myself in regards to this is a chance to go inside, get close to each other, get close more so to ourselves, and also stop fearing the system. They don't hold as much power over us as they think. Well, they do hold a lot more power than they did 2 weeks ago, but there's still a chance for humanity, because I feel like there's certain things people in charge cannot do. They cannot do certain things. They need our willful compliance in order for them to do it. And if we as people
Hmm.
stand up and realize that, because bruv, it's gonna happen eventually. Like if this goes on for 6 7 months and we're just told to stay in our house, the economy's gonna crash. There's gonna be no money. There's gonna be looting. Maybe they want it to be like that, but
I
I just
mean,
know
one
that.
thing for sure, like the environment is really benefiting from this. It's
Yeah, I've seen that.
it's an all-time low for like consumption of gases like pollution. It's an all-time low for that. So the environment is really benefiting from this. So maybe this is a chance for us maybe to connect more to nature.
Hmm.
Maybe like finding a way to going back to the old ways, homework type of scenario, and more of like you can do your work at home and then you can enjoy your time in nature, things like that. I don't know. Like it depends also what the job is like that you gotta yeah, we can't just generalize like that. But I feel like because of a lot of jobs now, there are clearly people discovered that they can just do these jobs at home, then like what's the point to carry on to going back to the old ways.
I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah.
A new system is needed, and we're going to see how it develops. It's going to be fascinating. It's been a pleasure having you on. And I think we're going to wrap it up there. Um, Give us anything if you want the viewers to come and find out who you are. Do you want to give any information about yourself, like your Instagram or anything, or do you want to stay anonymous?
Yeah, I don't I
It's
don't
your
mind
choice.
giving out my Instagram. Yeah.
Go on then, give out your Instagram and we'll put it on the screen as well.
All right. So my Instagram is Edinho.97. Edinho Edihno.97.
And we'll put it on the screen here. It's been good having you on, and we'll get you on again in a couple of weeks here, because what we'll do then, we're going to see if this is more positive. We're all going to put our positive hearts into it, and
Okay.
we're going to see where it goes. All right.
Yeah, yeah. That's all right.
All right, then. Good having you on. Thank you very much.
All right. Nice one, man.